Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Wendy, and today we're going to do a huge birthday book haul. So it has been a minute since I've done a book haul. I've really been trying not to buy books recently, and so my birthday was just a huge blessing by so many booktube and bookstagram friends that I had to share all of the things I got because I'm just so grateful, so excited, and just so thankful for all the wonderful friends I have in this community, and just made my whole entire birthday month. So thank you to all of you. I'm not going to remember everyone's name for each book, so I'm not going to list them, but you know who you are, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you, and I'm so excited to read all of these books. So I'm going to list off in no particular order. I just have a stack of books here. So I Must Betray You by Ruta Septes, I think is how you say it. I have read nothing by her, but I love historical fiction, and I have definitely been in the mood for it right now, and so I am so excited I got this. This was my pick 12 from Bethany, so it came at such a perfect time because now I have the book and I can't wait to read it. And this is in Romania, 1989. 17-year-old Christian dreams of becoming a writer, but Romanians aren't free to dream. They are bound by rules and force. This is a Christian historical fiction. I am super excited to read from her because I've just heard nothing but great things. So I want to read a lot more books by her. Okay, and the next one I got was Some Shall Break. I read the first one in this series and I really loved it. It's like a YA Criminal Minds type of series, and I highly recommend it, especially if you love the naturals. Now, this one has a little bit more gore than that series, so I do caution you with that. But I just really enjoyed it, and I've been searching for a series that reminds me of the naturals. Of course, this just doesn't compare. That series is just incredible, but I still feel like it gives me similar vibes, and so I was really excited to get into the next one. So excited that I got this book for my birthday. The next book was One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. This is her newest summer romance, and I'm so excited. I have loved her books, and the only one that I still need to read is This Summer Will Be Different, and so those are the last two I need to read by her. This one is following Alice, and Alice's grandmother is needing assistance, I believe, and so she has to go back and kind of like help her because she hurts her hip. And so she's going as a photographer, and she comes up with a plan, another summer in the magical place Barry's Bay. And then she meets Charlie Florrick, who she knew when she was 19 and took his photo from afar. Now he's all grown up, a shameless flirt who manages to make Nan laugh and Alice long to be 17 again. When life was simpler, when taking pictures was just for fun, sun-slanted days and warm nights on the lake with Charlie are a balm for Alice's soul. I'm so excited, and I really wanted to get to it this month for Gwen's book club, but I just completely ran out of time. So I'm super excited to fit this in my next month because it has been really hard to hold off. Recipe for a Charmed Life by Rachel Linden. I read her book, A Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, and I adored that book, and I gave it 5 stars, so I wanted to read more by her. I just love magical realism, and so the only magical realism author that I have just known I love and want to keep buying things by is Ashley Poston, and so I'm really excited to find another author that I feel like I'm going to enjoy. So this one says, after a day of unraveled disappointments, a promising young chef finds every bite of food suddenly tastes better. To save her career, she travels to the Pacific Northwest to reconnect with her estranged mom and discover a family legacy she never expected. I love travel type of books, so this is something that I find to be so intriguing. She goes to a small island near Seattle and reconnects with her mom, a free-spirited hippie. Good luck charms start appearing in the oddest places. Her neighbor is a puzzling, antagonistic, and annoyingly handsome oyster farmer. And her mom keeps hinting at a mysterious family legacy. Okay, so then next I have another historical fiction, The Dream Daughter, which my friend Corinna will be very excited about because this is her pick 12 for me. And so I'm very excited that I was gifted this because now I don't have to worry about buying it. And she absolutely loved this historical fiction. I have not read anything by Diane Chamberlain, but I've heard, again, amazing good things about her, and I'm needing some new historical fiction authors to fall in love with. So, when Carly Sears, a young woman widowed by the Vietnam War, receives the news that her unborn baby girl has a heart defect, she is devastated. It is 1970, and she is told that nothing can be done to help her child. But her brother-in-law, with a mysterious past, tells her that perhaps there's a way to save her baby. What he suggests is something that will shatter every preconceived notion that Carly has, something that will require a kind of strength and courage she never knew existed, something that will mean an unimaginable leap of faith on Carly's part, and all for the love of her unborn child. It sounds extremely moving, especially being a mom, so I'm sure this one will be a tearjerker. This one I added very last minute because if anyone knows me, I'm obsessed with all things Titanic. This book I do not believe has anything to do with that, but I mean, look at the cover. This is what it made me think of, so I had to grab it. For whatever reason, I really enjoy boat-themed books. Like, I don't know why. I just do. Like the movie Poseidon, Titanic, Woman in Cabin 10. Like, I don't know. I love those type of vibes. But it's in winter 1945, 4 teenagers, 4 secrets, each one born of a different homeland, each one hunted and haunted by tragedy, lies, and wars. As thousands of desperate refugees flock to the coast in the midst of the Soviet advance, 4 paths converge, vying for passage aboard the William Gustave, a ship that promises safety and freedom. Yet not all promises can be kept. Inspired by the single greatest tragedy in maritime history, best-selling and award-winning author Rudy Septis lifts the veil on a shocking, little-known casualty of World War II, an illuminating and life-alarming tale of heart and hope. So again, another book by an author that I haven't read yet, but she's a Christian historical fiction author. So this sounded like just something that would be so good, especially because I have not read anything about this specific ship and what happened in this part of history. That's what I love the most about historical fiction is even though it is still partly fiction, you do really learn a good bit about actual history in these books. And the author's notes typically will kind of shed light on what was true and what wasn't. And this is just my favorite way to learn about history, is just the fun way. So the next one I got was Primetime Romance, and I put this on my list because my friend Jessie raved about this book. It just screams summer to me. I don't have any idea if this has to do with summer, but that's what it's giving me. And it just looks adorable. I absolutely adore the cover. And it says a young divorcee finds herself in the ideal world of her favorite 2000s teen soap in this second chance whimsical romantic comedy from the author of This Spells Love. So it says that she is celebrating her 30th birthday and she is so sick of heartbreak. She thought she had found her happy ending, but now she's living with her roommate Josh to afford her mortgage. And she's trying to adjust to her single life. At least she's got her beloved 2000s teenage soap Carson's Cove to binge. The series ended unexpectedly on a cliffhanger after 5 seasons, and so when a birthday cake surprisingly shows up on her and Josh's doorstep, Bryn makes a wish for the one thing she's always wanted, a happily ever after. The next morning, she doesn't wake up in her apartment, she's in Carson's Cove, and Josh is there too. Everyone seems to know them except there's not Bryn and Josh, there's Sloane, the sweetheart of Carson's Cove, and Fletch, the town's bad boy, and to get home, they have to make Bryn's wish come true by ensuring Sloane and Spencer end up together at last. This sounds so cute, and I didn't know this was magical realism, so now I'm even more excited about this book because I love me some magical realism. So next has been a book that has been on my list a really long time, and that is Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I've heard incredible things about this. This is a book pick for Gwen's book club in December, and so I already knew I was going to read it this year. And I'm thrilled that I was given this for my birthday. It is definitely a winter-themed type of book, and so I can't wait to save it for that. And I've just heard so many great things about Frederick Bachman, but I believe this involves hockey and a really emotional story They're about to compete in national semifinals, and they actually have a shot at winning, but all the hopes and dreams of this place now rest on the shoulders of a handful of teenage boys under the heavy burden. The semifinal match becomes the catalyst for a violent act that will leave a young girl traumatized in a town in turmoil. This is a story about a town and a game, but even more about loyalty, commitment, and the responsibilities of friendship. The people we disappoint even though we love them, and the decisions we make every day that come to define us. In the story of the small forest town, Frederick Bachman has found the entire world. So definitely need to be ready to be emotional. Okay, so these next two books I really am excited about because it is someone that I found on YouTube, and I've really just been enjoying listening to his messages. And so he has two books, David Diga Hernandez, and I have been really intrigued by them and really wanting to add them to my collection. I just love reading Christian books about the Holy Spirit and all things that have to do with that. And so I'm super excited to get into these. I just think that they're going to be full of rich, rich meat. So super excited for both of those. They were very high on my list, and I'm so glad I got them from Leah. The next one is When the Day Comes. I've actually already read this, as you saw in my vlog. Thank you, Keisha. She just sent this to me as an extra. It actually wasn't even on my list, but she was like, when do you have to read this? You are going to love it, and she was not wrong. I did give this 4 stars, and it is a Christian historical fiction / fantasy time travel type of book. And it's really hard to explain, but she is living 2 different timelines, but yet is the same person, wakes up, is in one world, goes to sleep, is in the next world, and she has 2 sets of parents, living 2 lives. It's crazy. But it is so good. It is so good. Now, I will say that this historical time period I didn't love, but the rest of the story I really enjoyed, so I can't wait to get more into this series because I'm just excited to learn about the other types of history that she kind of weaves throughout her other books. Definitely worth the read for sure. The next book I got was All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata, and I have wanted to read one of her books for a really long time because I do love a slow burn romance, and I'm told she's the queen of slow burn, so I truly cannot wait. Aurora knows moving back to a place that was once home isn't going to be easy. Starting your whole life over isn't supposed to be, but a small town in the mountains might be the perfect remedy for a broken heart. Checking out her landlord across the driveway just might cure it too. So super cute. Just really hopeful that I'm going to love her because, again, loves me some slow burn. So I cannot wait to try her out for the first time. Next is the Orthologist Field Guide to Love. This one I added on my list just based on a lot of good reviews for it. I don't know a ton about it, but I think that it's a cozy fantasy. And it says rival ornithologists hunt through England for a rare magical bird in the historical fantasy rom-com reminiscent of Indiana Jones, but with manners, tea, and helicopter parasols. That is like an interesting combination. So we will see what I think of this, but I was very intrigued and I had to add this to my list. Okay, this next one, I've heard a ton of people, a ton of my friends rave about it. A ton of my friends are like, Wendy, you have to read this. You will love this series, A Simple Wild. I have just heard everything possible good to say about this book. It says that she is in Alaska, unable to handle the isolation of extreme rural lifestyle. So she leaves behind Calla's father, Ren. In the process, Calla never looked back, and at 26, a busy life in Toronto is all she knows. But when Calla learns that Ren's days may be numbered, she knows that it's time to make the long trip back to the remote frontier town of her birth to attempt to fix their estranged relationship. And she has to brave the roaming wildlife, the odd daylight hours, the exorbitant prices, and even the occasional outhouse, all for the chance to connect with her father, a man who, despite his many faults, she can't help but care for. While she is adjusts to the rugged new environment, Jonah, the unkempt, obnoxious Alaskan pilot who helps keep her father's charter plane company operational, can't imagine calling anywhere else home. So a beautiful romance and a perfect setting, Alaska and wildlife. I mean, I do think that Alaska stories just have their own sort of entertainment because of all the scenery and the setting descriptions that you can kind of weave throughout the book that make it really just entertaining. So I cannot wait to read this, but I'm told that Jonah is one of the best. Okay, so the last one is The Wind Weaver. And this one I've just been hearing a lot of talk recently come up about everybody loving this book. It might be book talk, I'm not really sure. But I was on someone's sprint and I heard so many people saying that they were reading this. It was like during the Escape the Readathon sprints. And people were just constantly saying they were reading this along with Shield of Sparrows. I mean, I love Shield of Sparrows, so when I noticed that all of the people loving that were also loving this, I was like, okay, yes, please. So it probably is not the same at all, but I was very intrigued. The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson says, magic and adventure swirl as a young woman reignites the embers of an ancient prophecy, unleashing a storm that could save her realm or doom them all. Fear of magic plagues Anwen. Halfling like Raya Fleetwood are killed on sight, but Raya's execution is interrupted by an unexpected savior, one far more terrifying than her would-be killers, the mysterious and mercenary commander Scythe. In the clutches of this new enemy, Raya finds herself fighting for her life in the barren Northlands, yet the farther she gets from home, the more she learns that nothing is as it seems. Not her fearsome captor, not the bright that ravages her dying realm, not even herself. For Raya is no ordinary halfling. The strange birthmark on her chest and the wind she instinctively calls forth means she is remnant, one of 4 souls scattered across Anwen, fated to restore the balance of magic or die trying. Mastering the power inside her is only the beginning. Desire for the commander, a man she can never trust, burns just as fiercely as the tempest beating against her ribcage for release. Raya must choose to smother the flames or let them consume her. I am very excited to try this out. We will see if this is another hit, because this year I think is the year for some great fantasies. I really feel it. So that is all that I have for you. I'm just really crossing my fingers that I am not forgetting any books, because okay, adding this in here because this one fell on the floor and was missed in the video, Bridge Kingdom. My goodness, I've been wanting to read this for so long because my friend Jordan loved it. She's obviously the one who gave it to me. And also, I've had a lot of friends recently reading it and loving it. I can't believe this one just fell on the floor and was lost under my chair. So glad I found it in time so that I can add it in this. But I'm so excited about it, and it is just the perfect gift, and I cannot wait to get into it. I'm like terrified that I forgot someone's book that they bought me for my birthday. So if I did, I really sincerely apologize. I tried to keep a stack and them all set in one place as I got them so that I wouldn't leave anyone out. So I do believe that I got everyone, but if I miss someone, please accept my sincerest apologies, because I'm so thankful. And I was gifted things that were not books too, but I just kept this bookish for the booktube. So I just wanted to thank all of you so much for just supporting me, for being friends to me, for showing up. I mean, of course, I love all of the gifts, but honestly, I've just really enjoyed getting to know everyone through BookTube, and the friendships that I have made have just been so special, and so I'm just really, really grateful. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if there is a book on this list that you are interested in reading as well, and if you have any other suggestions that you think that I should take a look at, always feel free to leave that in the comments below. Until next time, friends, remember to read what inspires you. Bye!